Island, where the pupils take over. Is this an amusement park or something? Presents the Young Southpaw Part of an Hour. Ding! What if, instead of Bob Denver getting marooned on that island, what if it was John? I mean, he would annoy the hell out of everyone playing his acoustic guitar all the time, singing about getting back to West Virginia. Landlocked West Virginia. And leaving on a jet plane when there's no such thing in sight. I mean, Maroon 5 really missed a trick here, not calling themselves Maroon 7. Adding 2 additional members and each dressing up as the cast of Gilligan's Island, you know? But what if they remade the show with all musicians? I mean, not Maroon 5, of course. They had their chance. But like for Ginger, get Geri Halliwell, Ginger Spice, you know? Woo! Marianne, played by Marianne Faithfull. The professor is Professor Griff from Public Enemy? Gets a little tougher after those. I mean, the skipper? Skip to my Lulu, maybe? And who would play the Howls, you know? Allen Ginsberg? Doing both roles? He'd be out of breath. Because you need 2 of them. You know, double the fun. How about 4 then? You know, double the fun again. Like twice the impact of that chewing gum commercial. You know who chews gum and has the same last names? Howlin' at the Moon, the Ramones. This could have been a special project for them, you know, like in the late 80s. I mean, where do you go after Ramones Mania? They get shipwrecked on an island. I think they'd want to be marooned with Gilligan himself. I mean, no offense to John Denver, but like I could see them all, you know, switching their leather jackets to Gilligan's outfit, you know. Or I guess like the Ramones might dig it if Tom Hanks was there with the Castaways. Of course, you know, before the film Castaway, back in Hanks's comedy days. Bosom Buddies, The Burbs, you know, Triple B. Big, the Quadruple. Unless, like, maybe the Ramones were going to do a John Denver covers album. They get stranded on this island and John Denver himself is teaching them the tunes, you know? Professor Griff works out a way to build a recording studio. Out of coconuts, of course. I mean, this could be a big hit for the Ramones. They're all John Denver covers record. West Virginia isn't that far from New York City. The lower west side, you know. Though Denver's in Colorado. I mean, I never understood that. Why was he going to West Virginia in the first place? Colorado's the complete other way. So I guess it was Thurston Howell III, you know? And for New York City in the late 80s, I mean, you know, before we get to that island, well, of course it's going to be all about Sonic Youth. Thurston Moore III. And like if Allen Ginsberg doesn't want to do it, Kim Gordon could play his wife on the show too. Is this kind of like picking a fantasy football team? Because there was also Fantasy Island, you know? Or what if you merged the 2? Get Tattoo! I mean, heck, Bruce Dickinson could play Mr. Howell. Tattooed millionaire, you know? And Lulu did the theme to that Bond movie Hervé Villechaize was in. Skip to my Lulu again. Christopher Lee as Scaramanga. I mean, were there ever any vampires on Gilligan's Island? It wasn't the whole, Twilight series, and I completely missed that aspect of it, was it? I guess you had Vincent Price on that Brady Bunch Hawaii thing, keeping with the island theme. And this now has the makings of the greatest horror movie of all time. At least the greatest horror movie that would have starred John Denver. I think. I mean, woo! I hope I'm not wrong. I mean, if I am, please let me know. If there are other better horror movie scenarios where John Denver is marooned on an island with the Ramones, Ginger Spice, and Professor Griff. I mean, what if there's another one where it's like John Denver, the Dead Boys, Mel C, Television, and Flava Flav keeping up his reality TV appearances? Or Bruce Dickinson is a pilot. Maybe he makes a special guest appearance. Flies in to pick up John Denver so he can leave on a jet plane. But Bruce only has room for one other person. So they draw lots and Marianne Faithfull gets to go with him. But this is done, of course, in the script, so that Leonard Cohen can make a guest appearance. Just to sing So Long, Marianne. To laugh and cry about it all again, Because, it's supposed to be a comedy show. I don't think Leonard Cohen will join the cast permanently, though. Rad as that might be. Though there's always the danger that, with Denver and Marianne gone, the cast is now down to 5, and Adam Levine and co. might be planning a hostile takeover. Meanwhile, Leonard Cohen sneaks off into the recording studio with Bruce Dickinson, Marianne Faithfull, and John Denver, which is looking like the raddest supergroup ever. But, where is this island, Because Australia's technically an island. Woo! But, rad as it would be to have AC/DC involved in all this, you don't really get marooned on Australia. It's a very big, civilized place. Heck, it's its own continent. You wouldn't have to worry about incontinence like you would being deserted somewhere smaller. And the music scene there is one of the best in the world. John Denver washes up there, he's going to have some competition. And also easy access to an airport to get on a jet plane and back to his country roads. Unless he and the Ramones are touring Australia whilst also pretending to be shipwrecked and remaking Gilligan's Island. This sounds complicated. I'm sure Professor Griff can figure it out. And while he's at it, can he broadcast some coordinates from his coconut radio? Where was this island? Speaking of coconuts, Kokomo? Was that Beach Boys song a clue? Or was it in a stream? Heck, get Dolly Parton involved. This will be amazing. And Kenny Rogers. Heck, get Kenny Loggins too. Danger Zone. Have him get into a dogfight with Bruce Dickinson on one episode. Then they realize they're both on the same side and become best friends. But before they do, Loggins' co-pilot is Kenny Rogers, and hilarity ensues whenever he's on the radio and says, "Roger that." And heck, the two Kennys, same name. They can play the Howls.